Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the man behind the counter, Duncan, and today we're going to talk about a new 4K release from Shout Factory. It is Species 2. Actually, it came out last month, but I had to buy a new mattress, and those are crazy expensive, so my movie collecting had to go on the back burner for a little bit, because I've been putting off the mattress for 3 years, so I'm behind, I know. This movie is directed by Peter Madak. It stars Michael Madsen, Mark Helgenberger, Natasha Henstridge. They returned from the first one. Mikkel T. Williamson, George Zunda, James Cromwell, and Justin Lazard, and an appearance by Peter Boyle. They are in for the sequel. The first movie is a fun mid-90s sci-fi horror. It has some flaws, but overall it's pretty fun, but it's certainly not Alien or Aliens. This movie takes some of the ridiculousness and the nudity and the gore from the first one and cranks it up to 11. This movie just takes all those elements and well, people seem to enjoy those aspects of the first film, let's just completely crank it up, and they do. So even people, and this movie certainly has its detractors, but it has a cult following as well, but nobody says that they were bored. No one was bored at all. So this movie, definitely you will not be bored watching it. You may not like it, but you won't be bored. Here, they do the first manned mission to Mars, and Ross, Justin Lazard's character, goes to the surface and collects some samples from Mars. And then you see Peter Boyle's scientist character. He's screaming, "I told them not to go," but he's in an institution and no one believes, and they explain why he was institutionalized, because he spoke out against this, because the aliens from the first film, he thinks they could have been on Mars and ruined all life on Mars, and there could be elements of the DNA in the samples from the surface, and it turns out he was right. So it infects the astronauts on that crew, except one of them, Mikkel T. Williamson's character, doesn't infect him because he has a sickle cell trait, so the alien doesn't infect him. But they all black out for about 3 minutes, and then they come back and come home. The mission's a success, or so they think. But then Ross goes around impregnating women and giving birth to new species, and he keeps them in a barn, and they're multiplying very quickly. So Press, Michael Madsen's character, and Mark Helgenberger's character, they have to get together and try to save the world yet again. And Mikkel T. Williamson, his character, joins them in trying to stop the new species from spreading. And Natasha Henstridge reprises her role from the first film, but here she plays Eve, not Syl. She was a clone from the DNA from the first one, and they do experiments on her in case the species were to ever break out again, and to learn more about it. But they keep her in a contained environment, and but she feels this connection to Ross, and so they're trying to keep them separate, because if they get together, Ross and Eve would, they would mate and create the ultimate unstoppable alien, so they try to stop that. So, but for the sake of the movie, as you can see what's coming, she does escape and they do get together. And that's when all this fun starts. So the movie, a lot of fun, like I said, pretty ridiculous. Has some interesting ideas, and then it kind of goes haywire. But it's picked up a cult following. I saw it in the theater when the first time back in the day, and I thought it was when I first saw it, I thought it was ridiculous, but I wasn't bored at all. And I've come to appreciate it more over the years, kind of as a cult movie, something you put on and just enjoy the ridiculousness. Like you come home from a hard day at work, you don't want to think too hard, you just want to watch something that's 90 minutes of fun. This movie will provide that for you. Shout Factory did a good job with this transfer. It's not an amazing 4K. I've seen better 4Ks from them in other places. It's not bad, it's just not an amazing picture. And some of the special effects used in 1998 don't age as well, but it doesn't look terrible. But some of those shots, they're not as sharp as you would kind of expect. But that was what was used at the time, so I wouldn't nitpick too much on that. But nothing here really pops. It's just, it looks fine. Certainly not bad. I've certainly seen worse. Now the audio, on the other hand, It's really good. This 5.1 DTS, I believe, it sounded amazing. I have a sound bar. Very good. It rocked the room for sure. So if you crank it up, it will work. You will definitely hear it. The dialogue is crisp and clear. All the explosions, all the alien sounds, all the gory parts, you'll hear it all. So audio is very good. The special features aren't new. They were ported over from the Blu-ray they released several years ago. But it gives some great insight. It gives great insights to the film. And you learn about, let's look over some of the special features. Um, the restoration from the original camera negative, audio commentary with director Peter Madak, From Sill to Eve, an interview with Natasha Henstridge, Creature Creations, interviews with Creature and special makeup effects creator Steve Johnson. There's some outtakes and an interview with screenwriter Chris Brancato. He gives some interesting insights into the film, and he talked about how people hated it at first, and now it's kind of a cult movie. So people have come to appreciate it for what it is over the years. There's also some archival behind the scenes. So you'll get some great insights into this film, even though there's nothing new. And Shout Factory, again, this is a solid release if you're a fan of this film. Has a slip, which they don't always do. I like the artwork here. You see Eve here. You see her face, and then, what she really is. And inside, it's the same thing. No reversible artwork, and the discs themselves. So this movie overall, big dumb fun, guilty pleasure, so bad it's good, schlockfest, whatever you want to call it. It applies here. Definitely, if you're a fan of this film, I would recommend picking this up because it's the best it's ever looked. So let me know in the comments, what did you think of it? Is it big dumb fun? Do you think it's not as good as the first one, or is it more fun than the first one? Let me know any of that in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.